Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're in ring B to about 447. It's the men's over 90 kilo quarter-final, and your officials. Judge 1 from Norway, Judge 2 from Guatemala, Judge 3 from Puerto Rico, Judge 4 from Turkey, and Judge 5 from Uzbekistan. Your referee from Egypt, Abdul Salam Mohammed Kamal. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your red corner, representing England, is Damar Thomas. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing your blue corner, representing Cuba, is Julio Cesar Cruz Peraza.
Well, we're on to the big boys here at the World Boxing Championships in Liverpool. The super heavyweights. And already in the ring, having the name chanted, is Damar Thomas of England. Just 20 years of age, the man from London. And tonight he gets the opportunity to compete for a medal. The World Championships. And he shares the ring with boxing royalty in the shape of Julio Cesar La Cruz. A man who's just about done it all. Gold Tokyo in the heavyweight division, gold in Rio as a light heavy, 5 world golds, 4 wins as a professional, all by way of knockout, and now he wants to win medals as a super heavyweight. You can see, as our referee Mohammed Kamal gives the final instructions, the height and the reach advantages that Damar Thomas has, but against the 36-year-old that's been there, done it all, who's got reflexes still like a 20-year-old. What can we see here tonight? On we go. Damar Thomas of England in red, La Cruz of Cuba in blue.
It was an outstanding performance from Damar to get to this stage, and point deduction, we thought that's it. I was in the crowd with his supporters and you could feel people thinking it was slipping away, but he had an absolutely unbelievable third round and his engine was just incredible. I don't know how many jabs he must have thrown that round, but goodness me, for a big man as well, incredible engine. We have a good history of producing incredible super heavies, but also with really cracking engines as well. They're never slow and methodical, they're always good movers and with a high work rate, and he started really well here. He's much the bigger man and he needs to use that physical advantage, and he is doing.
Yeah, the shoulders and the long arms, incredible really from Thomas. Real physical gifts, you feel. But this wily old Cuban, again, just the movement is still there. It's whether or not you see from the Cuban's point of view, can he put a dent in this big fella in front of him?
And that's the thing, the Cuban can do this all day long. We've seen him do it all his career. And we know he can do that, but we know also that Damar will keep coming forward, and he's got the engine and the conditioning to keep throwing shots, and he will land. You know, he might have to throw 10 to only land a couple, but he will. Whether the Cuban can land anything on Damar, that's the question. And I think he's put himself in a great position here, Damar Thomas. Just needs to not be distracted by the movement of the Cuban, because sometimes you can sort of get focused on that and you just need to fight your own fight, but I'm sure he will. Really good work from him at range so far. He's got so many great attributes, Damar, hasn't he? I mean, he's tall, he's got those really broad shoulders, he's thick set. He just pummels out that jab like an absolute ramrod. He can throw combinations if he needs to. He's got quick feet. He's got a great attitude as well.
Still growing? So do we know this for a fact? Is he still growing? Which possibly could be. He's only 20 years of age.
Whoever's feeding him will hope not. But no, he's got so many attributes, and just
oh, that was a good shot.
Looking too much for the Cuban here, and it could hurt him.
I think he just did with that, well, thudding lead hand. And now that's sparked Le Cruz into a little bit more action here, because he's been doing what he likes to do and just move around with the hands by his side as he's doing there, but he needs to do a bit more than that. And I think he's felt the power of Demar Thomas. He's put a slightly different spin on it at the end of that first round. So now what are the judges going to go for here? Is it the movement and that constant...
Well, he didn't really throw anything.
Didn't throw anything really,
did he? So
no.
Not to discredit him, but Pereira barely threw anything, let alone landed a glove on him. Demar was constantly on the front foot. He had loads of success with his jab and his backhand, and they were, you know, some of those shots you could see, they rocked the Cuban, they locked him. So I can't see...
That was the key moment really there.
Can't see a big case for the Cuban, really. Puerto Rican judge would disagree with me, obviously, but the other four agree.
That's really good work then from Demar Thomas. He knows what he's got to do. Interesting to see, really, not what Demar Thomas does, obviously, but what Le Cruz does.
I'm not sure there's much he can do.
Well, exactly.
He hasn't got the power to keep Demar off. He hasn't got blistering hand speed, because with somebody this powerful and with this kind of range, you've either got to deter him with your power, or you've got to have speed, haven't you, to nip in and out. I don't think he's got either. Not now, not this stage of his
career.
As
a super heavy.
Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing
and that's where we are. He's at this stage of his career and at this weight, and those two things combined with a young, hungry lion who's coming up and a big prospect with big dreams, and he's a huge lad. You know, it's a tough ask. And that's the incredible thing about sport. It doesn't care what you've achieved. It doesn't care, you know, where you've come from, how much money you have, or the accolades you've had before. It doesn't matter what things are at your advantage once you get in the competitive ring or on the pitch or court or whatever it might be. It's a meritocracy, isn't it? The underdog can win. Somebody who's, you know, first time, you know, in a certain championships can win. That's what's incredible and exciting about it.
He's just been using that reach very well and gets that backhand off as well. This is good.
Solid
from
lead hands though from the Cuban there, and he will have to be a little bit careful, Demar Thomas, won't he? Obviously, because those are some real solid little shots with didn't really get much leverage on him, but they had a real bit of spite in him from a mid-range, didn't they? He's obviously spotted a little gap just over the right lead glove of Demar, because he's targeted that spot a couple of times now, the Cuban. Demar just needs to get behind that jab again, because he's almost untouchable from there once he gets that fired out and gets that engine going.
They're trying to edge forward. Le Cruz just gets picked off. Good swift work from Thomas. Oh, good backhand as well. And again, he's having success in there, and Le Cruz is just trying to find a bit of fire with fire against the much bigger man in there.
He's not firing out that jab as much now, Demar, and he's allowing the Cuban to get closer, and it's been better work from Le Cruz Peraza in this round because of that. Needs to be firing out that jab again, because it doesn't allow the Cuban to set himself, doesn't allow him to get in close, doesn't really allow him to work.
I'm really going to work now and trying to...
It's been really smart here, Le Cruz Peraza, because what he's been doing is just waiting on the end. And because he's been doing all this shimmying and moving, it's kind of made Demar Thomas watch him rather than remember what he's supposed to be doing. It almost seems like there. He can't be distracted by what he's doing, and that's of course exactly what he wants, and he knows what he's doing, but he's put Demar off his game. I think that's the right, the best way to say it. Some great work here from Demar, obviously, but that's what he needs to be doing more of, and he's got the engine and the capability to do that for every second of every round, and so that's what he needs to do.
So let's see how...
Doesn't need to give him a sniff if he keeps him at range.
The judges have it. Well, 4 in favour of the work of Le Cruz, and Norway has stuck with Demar Thomas. That makes it interesting.
Well, we've got 3 are all tied now, and then 1 either way in the other way. So one's got Demar 2 up, one's got Le Cruz Peraza 2 up. So it's the 3 that are all even that they need to convince, isn't it?
So who's going to do that?
Needs to get into that rhythm and that pattern early, Demar.
Little jab. Going again. A little tangle in the middle now.
This is that experience, isn't it?
Yep.
Just can't buy it that even though he's by far the smaller man, he's his senior by a long way, so but using his nous, his boxing IQ, all those smarts to his advantage. It's just...
Speaking of the referee there as well, but he got a good little fast 1-2 off there as well, Le Cruz, but Thomas looking to establish authority again and use those big long arms, and back comes Le Cruz. Oh, that's a good backhand from Le Cruz as well.
Good 1-2 from Demar though before he just got turned on the ropes there. Has to start firing that jab out again, but not like that, not pouring it. He's got to throw it with some authority like he was doing in the first round. I don't know if he's trying to tactically what they've asked him to do. I don't know if he's trying to draw something from Le Cruz Peraza and be first and third instead, like maybe pour with that jab, make him respond and then fire something back. But I don't know why they would have adjusted that, because he was so effective just really getting some power behind that jab in the first round, and now he seems to be pouring it, like I say, just trying to elicit a response from Le Cruz Peraza, and now we're ending up in these tangles, and this just isn't making it clear to the judges.
Now that will suit Le Cruz, you feel.
That's better. Now again, this is what he needs to do. And Le Cruz Peraza again just trying to distract him. Low hands, head movement, smart work from him. Demar has to completely ignore that and just fire that jab out.
But are these eye-catching shots that Le Cruz is getting in there? Are the judges liking his work now? This is where it gets very interesting. There's only, 35 seconds of the round to go now.
Needs a big finish to this, Demar, just to... Oh, it was a massive shot, though, from Le Cruz Peraza, wasn't it, that? And Demar now needs to get a couple of 1-2s together, get behind that jab and really land something clean of his own, and time's running out for him to do that. And this has been a really, really smart performance from Le Cruz Peraza. And he shouldn't really have been in this one, should he? After that first round performance from Demar Thomas, he should never have had a sniff. And
this is what he does. He can see this out like this all day long. Little Superman punch at the end. Look at that. Salutes the crowd. And Demar Thomas, the body language as he goes there, he celebrates with, there's a Cuban group in the arena that are all on their feet cheering on their hero.
I wonder as well if that, he was in an almighty battle last time out, Demar Thomas, and perhaps, the recovery in between that is, it's tough, isn't it? And for any weight category, but certainly for the heavier men, he invested so much in the blows that they take. And obviously, there's some weight behind him, isn't there? So I don't know, maybe it was that, but I just felt like it was for him to lose after that first round.
Well, at 20 years of age, whatever happens now, whoever is going to go through to the semi-final and claim a medal, what an experience for Demar Thomas. Surely he'll learn a lot from that against that wily operator. As it is, well, the judges have given their results, and here's Craig Denham, RMC.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ring Luka Prajacic. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing your blue corner, representing Kazakhstan is Aybek Oralbey.
Well, our final bout of the evening from Ring B, bout number 16 of the evening session, and it is, well, the final super heavyweight clash of the day, the quarter-final to decide who will take on Julio Cesar La Cruz in that semi-final. Obviously, a medal secured. Depends on which colour it's going to be, but it is Luka Prajacic of Croatia, who wears red in against Aybek Oralbey, the Kazakh, in blue. Of course, Oralbey, part of the Kazakh side. His brother, Nurbek, lost earlier to Umataliev, the superb Uzbek. So who's going to come out on top in this? Our referee for this one is Edward Blanchard of Canada. And it's fair to say that Luka Prajacic in red has got the support of the arena on his side. He's got a very loyal band of Croatian fans, who I'm sure you can hear, who are constantly chanting football style from the stand. This big man from Osijek in eastern Croatia. He's done well so far, beat Miracle Kai of Samoa in his opening bout, and then had a unanimous decision win over Stilianos Ruilas in his previous bout. As for the man from Kazakhstan, he made fairly easy work of Mukahit Ilyas of Turkey. And now we start getting to work here as both men, after a slight feeling out process, start letting the hands go.
He's a real talent, Oralbey, of course, not on his own in the family. Nurbek Oralbey as well. Gotten a silver at the Paris Olympics, his twin brother, so that's two brothers you don't want to meet down a dark alley and say the wrong thing to. But he himself finished 5th in Paris, and he's the main rival really to Zakirov, is Aybek Oralbey. And of course in this category, all chomping at the bit, given that it has been dominated by Jalolov for so long, and the double Olympian finally retired from Olympic style boxing. He went into the Olympics with something like 15-0 in the pros, and then went and swept cleaned up at the Olympics as well. So they'll all be glad to see the back of him, that his name won't be coming up in the draw. And now it leaves it wide open, and that's why this is such an exciting category at these World Boxing Championships. First time we'd had a major without Jalolov for a while now, and you know, who's going to top the podium and take the throne now? And Oralbey is one of the men who, you know, people have been looking at to come and take that throne, but obviously a long way to go before that.
Well, the big Croat's dipped his toe in the pro game as well. He's just had the one fight and one win, and KO. But Oralbey, again, has the experience.
Nice work. He's just working behind that really tight guard and edging in. He's coming from that low crouch position, but using it to his advantage, because as he drops the level, or height if you prefer, then he's coming over the top with that backhand. And it landed pretty well there on the Croatian, whose hands are much slower, the movements are much slower than the Kazakh. And that's one of the things the Kazakh's got to use to his advantage, nipping in and out with his feet and those faster hands. But as a unit, isn't he? And
he is a
the
big old
Croatian
lad.
will be a big lump to shift, that's for sure.
Yep, he is a good bit bigger than the Kazakh rival, but of course it's not all about that. And skills to burn, Oralbey. We talk about a lot these days about the Uzbeks and the Kazakhs and how they've got so much flair as well as the old Soviet-style skills, and you do have in this instance the very mobile shorter man and probably the more typically Eastern European style in Pratledžić. All officials going for the man from Kazakhstan. I think in a round that Pratledžić tried to get a hold on, but Oralbey just proving a bit too cute for him. So the officials from Hungary they scored that too. Well, on we go again. The second round, opening stages, just pouring with that jab from the southpaw stance. Pratledžić.
He's not been able to impose his size advantage, Pratledžić, has he? And he is obviously the bigger man, but he's not getting any whip on his shots. He's not, you know, getting that twist on his torso or just turning his back foot into any of the shots. He's not really generating any power. So there's nothing to deter Oralbey, because right here he's just not concerned. He's not firing anything out that's going to deter Oralbey, is he? And that's why he's then able to come in with these raids and work away, and making it look easy, really.
Well, he's just shown how you negate the physical advantages, really, of the bigger man. He's managed to just work his way in, and a good lead hand. There you go again, and just clever work from the Kazakh.
And again, it's like he's paying more attention to what Oralbey's doing rather than letting his own shots go. And as the bigger man, you'd like to see him just try and set up that backhand and just launch it and see.
I think it is.
He's just really tentative, isn't he? Yeah. He's just twitching and jerky movements rather than just throwing something. And the longer he leaves it, Oralbey's just sizing him up, edging in, and he'll just find a way to force him into a mistake, slip, and he'll be in then, and he can work up close. And that's all he needs to do, because there's very little coming back.
I think you may have found this mentally draining. He's thinking all the time in there. Pratledžić, as you say, more concerned about what's coming his way than trying to get his own work off. Just pouring with that jab. He's not trying to establish it at all, and it's just invited Oralbey to.
He's not actually
attack.
Throwing anything. That pouring jab isn't really a jab. He's not letting the backhand go. He's literally just trying to say, almost, just please don't come near me, and that's not going to happen. And there we go. He's just allowed him to just slip past that lead hand. And the problem with that lead hand, because he's sort of pouring down with it, it's easy to come over the top of it, isn't it?
Well, his supporters aren't letting up. They're backing him all the way. But there's not a chance that he's going to get any. And he's got no answers to the puzzle that is this fella, Oralbey.
He's not trying to solve the problem, and that's not to be harsh to him or discredit him. That's because I know he can box better than this. We've seen him be better than this, and there he did, because he had to fight back because he was under pressure. But he has to be willing to initiate the fight and take it to Oralbey. And this standing off and pawing with that jab is actually leaving him vulnerable. He's not actually protecting himself. He's inviting Oralbey on, because while he's in that position, he's just weighing up where all those gaps are, and he's giving him time to make a calculated decision and attack. And you know, how can you expect the judges to go any other way when he's barely thrown a shot? And he needs to throw some leather in this final round, at least just to have a go at him, and at least so they've got something to cheer about, this incredible support. He needs to do it for them. He lands one shot on Oral Bay, these lot are going to raise the roof. And this is better from him. Where's this been?
He's in centre of the ring, just lets the 1-2 go, not much behind it. Very tentative.
I'm not sure whether he's tired or whether he's cautious or a bit of both. I'm not too sure, because he will, when they get when Oral Bay holds his feet and they work on the inside, he will trade with him. So when he has to fight, he will. But you have to fight if you want to get through to the next round. It can't just be when Oral Bay comes at him, if that makes sense. He has to take the fight to him now, doesn't he?
There's possibly too much time for him to think in there. Oral Bay's just doing what he needs to do at his own pace, and it's a really nice backhand. And
maybe he's overthinking it, like you said, because really he needs to keep it dead simple. He needs to actually test him with that jab and see if he can push him back with it. And then if he can, and there might be an opening, then fire that big giant backhand over the top. And he tried it there and he fell short, and that's okay. Go again. There we go. And can he get one through the guard now? No, but an attempt. That's what you want to see, isn't it? That's all you can.